Good morning and namaste to all of you. Let's start the class with some prayers. Om Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parbrahma, Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Om Bhu Bhavaswaha, Tatsavitra Varenayam Bhargo Devasya Dhimahi, Diyo Yo Nah Prachodayat, Asto Ma Satgamya, Tamso Ma Jyotirgamya, मृत्योर्मा अमृतम गम्य ओम स नावतु स नभुनक्तु स वीर्यं कर्वावहि तेजस्वी नावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहि ओम शांति 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 ओम. As we were talking about the scriptures, they are written in Sanskrit language. They're filled with phrases that are not just rich in sound and beautiful in meaning, but also with phrases that have a direct physical impact on the human body as well as mind. Sholka, mantra, sutra, and stotra. There's a lot of confusion as to what these words mean. Actually, there is a difference between these four. And today I would like you to know a little bit about these four, because here and there I do get a question. So I thought in this class format, I should go over this. And if there's a time left in today's class, I'll go over two other terms, Agam and Nigam. What do they mean? So today's topic is to know these terms, which are very important, which are part of our regular vocabulary, but we really don't understand deeply. Let's look at the word Sutra first. Sutra. S-U-T-R-A, Sutra. Sutra is a phrase that is an encoded message. The literal meaning of the word sutra is a string. People who realize the meaning of the sutra, they can present that sutra in their own words also. It is commonly said that the gurus could weave any kind of a garland of words which is unique to them and express their realization, and that becomes a sutra. So garland of words spoken by a realized person. Some examples of sutras are the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, Kama Sutra by Vatsayan. Those are the sutras. So you got to decode them. The second term I mentioned is a shloka. Shloka is any type of rhythmic verse. So sutra is not rhythmic. It's not poetry. But shloka is. It could be either from a story, a song, or a hymn of a god or goddess, and from any book for that matter. If the words are arranged in a particular rhythm or meter, it can be called a shloka. The most famous book on the shlokas, Bhagavad Gita. But on the other hand, a shloka can be a sutra based upon how crisp it is and the message it conveys. Other examples of shlokas are verses from Chanakya Niti or from poems like Meghdut. So shlok can also be on the guards. For example, there are a lot of shlokas, lot of hymns written on Saraswati, which is called Saraswati Namastubhyam. So that is for goddess Saraswati. And there is a Vakratunda Mahakaya for Ganapati. That is also a shlok. Beautiful verses. So our Sanskrit literature is filled with the sutras also and the shlokas also. Then the third one is called mantras. Mantras are phrases which have a deep spiritual significance. And these phrases may or may not have any traditional sense of meaning. Many a times, it's a guru who realizes this mantra within his or her own life. So the guru's words become the mantras because they are so significant. The meaning of mantra is given is in this Sanskrit saying, Mananat trayate iti mantraha, which means that which delivers with a repeated chant. So mantra, you repeat it again and again. So while shloks, sutras, and stotras, they can be expounded upon, understood, and relished for their meaning, mantras are meant to be experienced, used, and work upon to reach higher possibilities of life. So we study with the shlokas, we study with the sutras, we sing the praises with the stotras, but mantra we keep on reciting in every breath. That's why they say Guru Mantra. The mantra you have gotten from the mouth of the Guru, that is live mantra. So that has the possibility to take you at the higher level. One of the most famous mantras, most of the Hindus know, Om Namah Shivaya. Everybody is familiar with this, which is called a Panch Akshari. Panch means 5. So it has 5 letters in it. Akshar means a letter. Panch Akshari. There are millions more based on the gurus that gave them, because there have been many gurus. It's a tradition, Vedic tradition, to have a guru. So whatever guru gives you a mantra, that is your guru mantra. Mantra can also be in the form of a shloka or a sutra, based upon the guru that consecrated them. Okay? So remember that. And finally, a stuti. Stuti is also called a stotra. It's a verse in praise of someone or something. Stotras are groups of multiple shlokas put together. And there are various names for them. Like Panchakam, if there are 5 verses. Shatkam for 6. Ashtakam for 8. Or Dashkam for 10. And so on. Generally, stutis or shlokas are made for kings, gods, goddesses, or any person of a high importance. So when somebody is praiseworthy, the poets, they come up with these stotras. These are very ornamental works. with elaborate descriptions of the greatness of the subject being praised. Some famous examples are Mahesh Asur Stotra by Shankaracharya ji. Or there is a Shiva Stotra by Ravan. He compiled that. He was a great Pandit. Shankaracharya actually composed a stotram in praise of the lion cloth also. This is known as Kaupin Panchakam. If you ever get a chance to study this, it's a highly philosophical work, but extremely simple also at the same time. So Kaupin Panchakam. So just 5 verses. There is another stotra written by Adi Shankaracharya ji. It's called a Saundarya Lahari. I'm sure some of you are familiar with that. That is a compilation of 100 mesmerizing shlokas describing the beauty of the mother goddess, Shakti. Each shlok in this stotra works as a mantra targeted at a particular aspect of a human being. So it's truly a blessing to be able to read, recite, and reap the rewards of all these magnificent creations. So when you understand the form of writing, what it represents, then you can reap a lot more out of it. So I just wanted to give a simple description of this so that you don't get confused. Any question? So again, the 4 shalok, mantra, sutra, and stotra. Okay. So looks like there's a question. Yes, Naina. Yeah. Okay, I think Menka has a question while Naina is. Yes, Menka. Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry. Okay, the last line you said, Sundar Lahari, 100 shlok for praise of which goddess?
It's a mother goddess.
Mother goddess.
Shakti.
Okay, mother goddess. Okay, thank you.
That's a Saundarya Lahari.
Yeah, Shakti.
Okay, Menka.
Thank you.
So the last one is Stuti or Stot? Sorry, I was a little confused.
Stuti and Stotra together. When it's a Stotra, that means several verses.
Okay. How do you spell that? Sorry.
Stotra. Stotra. And Stuti is Stuti.
Okay, so Stotra is a collection of.
So Stotra is a collection. Stuti means praise.
Okay.
Stotra is a collection of those praiseworthy verses.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else?
Thank you.
Yes, Rebecca. Unmute yourself, please.
When you mentioned about mantras being consecrated by a guru, how do they go about consecrating?
Rebecca, I can't hear you. Can you come a little closer to your?
Sorry, I'm working with a new device here. Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah, now it's better. Yes.
Okay. When you were mentioning mantra being consecrated by a guru, how do they go about doing that?
They, in their deep meditations, samadhis,
okay.
They come up with those mantras.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not that's why sometimes mantras, if you look at whether they are accurate in the pronunciation sometimes, or even grammatically, they may not be. But Guru saw that mantra in the samadhi. And then Guru gives that mantra to the disciple. Okay, so that's how they are consecrated. So not from a lower mind, it is intuitively. Okay, yes, Karuna. Unmute, please.
Hersh, yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes, I can.
Hersh,
Yes.
You said each slok in the Stotra is a particular mantra. Okay. What does it mean? Hello?
Yeah, like a shlok as a mantra.
Huh.
Yeah, there are so many different, I don't have the examples right now, but in this, our literature, like even in the Bhagavad Gita,
Yeah.
they are shlok, but they sound like mantra. When you go into that chapter 11, where Arjun is singing the praises of Lord Krishna, when he visualized that Virat Rupa, that is a stotra also, and that's a mantra also. There are a lot of shlokas in there like that. Okay, so
Yes.
or when we
Got
see
it.
that
Thank you.
in
Thank you,
Bhagavad
Hersh.
Gita, in Bhagavad Gita, when Lord Krishna says yoga karma sukashlam, that's like a sutra. Part of the shlok, very crisp, very direct. That is a sutra in the form of a shlok. So sutra gives us direction, clear-cut direction. That's why I use the word crisp. Okay. Or even when Lord Krishna says, Karmanya eva adhikara aste ma phaleshu kadachana.
Thank you.
Right? That is a sutra for us. Okay. Even though it's in a shlok form. Okay. So sutra is a condense. Shlok is a poetic. Stotra is a praise. And mantra has a very deep philosophical significance to attain the highest. So in summary, that's how I would say that. Okay. So anybody else, any question? I'm glad that you're finding it interesting, because without knowing these, the kind of writing, we really cannot understand the deep import of these creations by these great rishis. Yes, Poonam?
Harshji, when we are talking about mantra, since it is not giving any directions, it doesn't even have, I think, any words. Is it only based on vibration of the sound? That's what it is?
Yes, there's a vibration. There are, every mantra is not like that. Some
Yes.
mantra, see, it's like a combination also. Okay, sometimes we see the direction also, but majority of the mantras, when we recite,
Yeah.
that really means a vibration is moving up.
Vibration. Okay.
Just like I said, Om Namo Shivaya.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when we say Om Namo
Narrative.
Shivaya as a mantra, then we are not necessarily focusing on Shiva, but we are
No.
focusing on only the mantra. That is what I was
Yes,
trying to.
exactly. What we are saying is, we are focusing on the auspiciousness.
Yeah.
No form.
No. Yeah.
Okay, not even a roop. Or ultimately, this mantra carries us, the vibration of the mantra carries us to a higher level where we lose ourselves. Body also, mind also, intellect also. So with the help of the mantra, we become one with that. That's why I said the possibility is so high with the help of the mantras.
So when we start looking for the meanings in, let's say, Om Bhur Bhuva Swaha, it is not really required or even necessary for us to start looking for meaning. We just need the the
Yes.
sound to penetrate into our heart.
Exactly. Exactly. In the initial stages, sure, our mind is looking for a meaning.
Yeah.
But when we have recited it countless times, when we have done other purifications in our life, then just by saying it, Om Bhurbhuva Swaha, that's it. You don't even need anything further.
Yeah.
You are one with that Om, which is everywhere. That is the power of the mantra. See, they say mantra has the power. This is the power of the mantra. See, ordinarily, we want to use the power of the mantra to attain something worldly. We are really selling ourselves short. With the mantra, we want some kind of a profit in this material world. No, mantra can take us to that higher realm. That is the reason for the mantras, whether it's a Guru mantra or any other mantra. Okay?
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay, now we do have time to go through the second part of today's class. Scriptures, all our scriptures. I'm talking about scriptures from that beautiful land. Right now we call them India, but Bharatvarsh also, Ajnab Desh also. There have been many names for that great land where the rishis, they did the tapasya. And they could reveal all this knowledge to us, which is not available to a lower mind. But then we are fortunate enough that they put it into the book form also for us. First, it was transmitted orally, but now we can find the books also and translated also into different languages. These great scriptures are classified into two types, Agam and Nigam. A-G-A-M-A, Agam. And Nigam, N-I-G-A-M-A, Nigam. Agam means that which has come to us as a revealed knowledge. Revealed. And these texts are called manuals for divine worship. Scholars say Agam's text neither accept nor reject the Vedas. Because Nigam means Vedas. That is the only meaning for Nigam, Vedas. But Agams, they neither accept nor reject the Vedas. But in reality, if you study the Agams, there are Vedic mantras used in the Agam practices with slight modifications. So they have used some of the texts from the Vedas. Agam is these days especially popularly known as Tantra also. Tantra. But technically, when you look at it, there's a slight difference between the Tantra and Agams. So the word Nigam is understood as the highest truth. Nigam. Nigam also means the final truth. Or you can also say the conclusion after applying all the logics to counter all the objections. And most scholars consider Vedas as Nigams. So that's why the highest authority the Vedas have, and the Vedas are called Nigams. It is said that even the sentences of the commands contained in the Vedas are referred to as Nigams. Okay. Now going on step further, these scriptures can be further divided into two types, Shruti and Smriti. Shruti is the revealed knowledge which is considered as the primary source, and Smriti is remembered knowledge, secondary source. So both Agams and the Nigams, they have the Shrutis and the Smritis. There are three types of Agams. They can be categorized like this. Directly revealed by Shiva, Shakti, or Vishnu. And they include references to the Vedas. So directly revealed by Shiva, Shakti, or Vishnu. And there are second kinds of Agam texts are, they are authored or composed by great seers. And they include the references to Purans. And the third is authored and composed by masters. And over there we see the practical skills and experiences for a disciple. And most of the Agam texts, they are in the form of conversation between a male and a female deity. For example, in the Shiv and Shakti tradition, Agam texts are primarily based on the conversation between the Shiv and Shakti. Each one is taking a role of a teacher and a student, like a guru and a disciple. So when the Shiv is taking a role of a teacher, when he revealed the knowledge to Shakti, it is called Agam. And when the Shakti as a teacher revealed the knowledge to Shiva, it's called Tantra. So this is one of the differences. So primary Tantra texts are like this, revealed by male deities. So when the Shiv, then Agam, and then Vaishnava Agams. So Vishnu also, and then revealed by female deity, Shakti, Lakshmi, both we see that. There's no Agam in the name of Brahma. Only the Shiv, Shakti, and Vaishnava. And now look at the word Nigam. It's mostly referred to the Vedas. And we often talk about the Vedas and the Upanishads or the Upanishads. So that's why today I'm not going to talk too much about that. But logically, if you look at it, the Tantra is a subsystem of Agam. Tantra. But sometimes Agam and the Tantra word, they are used interchangeably also. Three essential requirements in the building of a temple in the Agams are called Sathal, Tirtham, and Murti. Sthal refers to the temple, because in the Agams there's a lot of elaboration on how the temples should be created. So Sthal, that place is very important to them. Tirtham is the temple tank. And then Murti is the deity which is being worshipped. Sometimes a temple can be associated with a tree called the Sthal Vriksham. So that Vriksha is very important. They see the deity as a tree. It could be a banyan tree. It could be a peepal tree. The kadamba tree, that is a sthal. So that's why those places become so important to those worshippers. And there are elaborate rules which are laid out in the Agams for the art of sculpture, Shilpa. They describe the quality requirements of the places where the temples are to be built, the kind of images to be installed, the materials from which they are supposed to be made, their dimensions, their proportions, air circulation also, and lighting in the temple complex also. So all those details, they really go into it when we look at the Agams. On the other hand, on the Nigams, there's no Murti. That's why in the Vedas, worship to these elemental forces. That's why the fire ceremony is so important. And in the Vedas, they don't mention which direction. Every direction God is there. And there's no Murti. So Murti is, or the form of the deity, is very important for the Agam scriptures, but not for the Nigam scriptures. Nigam scriptures, they say God is everywhere, all the time. In fact, the rituals followed in the Agams, like each day, the time of the day, which direction, all those rules are very, very important to the followers of the Agams. And each Agam consists of 4 parts. The first part includes the philosophical and spiritual knowledge. The second part covers the mental discipline, like yoga. The third part specifies rules for the construction of the temples, which I just mentioned earlier, and carving of the deities. And the fourth part of the Agams include rules pertaining to the observation of the religious rites, rituals, and festivals also. See, in the Nigams, this is not as important. In the Agams, these rituals are very, very important. 2 main schools in the Vaishnav Agams are Pancharatra and Vaiknas Agam. These are the 2 schools. And in the Shiv Agam, the Shiv Siddhanta philosophy in South India, and there is a Kashmir Shaivism in the North India. So Agam literally means religion actually. And as I said earlier, the Agam also means the Tantra. So how many books are there? See, just like we talk about 4 Vedas and 108 Upanishads, there exists 28 Shaivai Agams, 77 Shakta Agams, and 215 Vaishnav Agams. And then there are a lot of Up-Agams also. So you can see that how big of a library we have. And as I mentioned earlier, there are 4 parts. There are names for those 4 parts: Kriyapad, Charyapad, Yogapad, and Jnanapad. So it's just like a very well-defined scriptures on the Agams also we have. So all over India, it's not just one part of India. You see it in the north also, you see it in the south also, east also, west also. So there are a lot of devotees of the Agams also, and the Tantras also, and the Nigams also. And books on the Agams, some of the, you might be familiar with these books, Ishwar Samhita, Ahirbudna Samhita, Sanat Kumar Samhita, Narad Panchratra, Sapand Pradipika, and Maha Nirvana Tantra. So I'm sure in your own busy lives, you have not studied these, but there are great volumes and volumes written on this. And some people have devoted their lives on writing or studying or trying to see what the meaning behind is. Okay, so Vaishnav Agams, Shaivai Agam, and Shakta Agams. At least we should know that. These three branches. Then several books written on these. Okay, so Vaishnav Agam, the deity is Lord Vishnu. Shakti Agam, the deity is the goddess, the female. And then Shaivai Agams, Lord Shiva. It's a predominant that deity. They say the union of the Shakti with Shiva at the highest level leads to the freedom of the Pash. Pash is bondage, attachment. So they have sayings like that. So in order to do all this, a disciplined life, full of devotion, detaching from the world and attaching it to the higher. So no matter what you worship, in which form you see God or see God in formless, the goal is the same. We don't need to argue whatever tradition we follow that tradition faithfully. But the reason I brought this out, so that these terms, if you hear, you should know that what do they really mean. So bottom line is Agam and the Nigam. Nigam is the Vedic tradition, which predominantly we follow at the ashram over here, this Yoga Sadhana ashram. Okay. Sure, we have some rituals, but rituals are very simplified. Rituals are only for the discipline of our mind and the body. But otherwise, we believe God is everywhere. God is in this form also. God is in other forms also. Nobody has the sole authority of the God. God is everywhere. But this material mind needs a certain form. So we use the form of a guru to control our mind. And all this knowledge which we get from the Upanishads, we try to purify ourselves and detach from this world and attach it to the highest. Okay, so if you have a question, what do we follow? We follow Nigam. That's why often you see that any time of the day, we can do the Havan, the Arti. Sure, for ourselves, we got to have some discipline. But there's no special time, special place, or special form. No special way of putting a tilka. Okay, because in Agams, there are a lot of restrictions about that. That's why you might have seen some rishis putting the horizontal lines, some vertical lines. So there are special reasons for those. But at the ashram, we just follow the Nigam. Okay, Nigam texts also and Nigam rituals also. See, in the Agam, they even do the Pran Pratishtha. When they establish a temple, there are special mantras. They say that we are bringing the Pran into that form of deity. At our ashram, we don't have anything like that, because I asked my Guruji, Pran Pratishtha. He said, who are we to do the Pran Pratishtha in God? So that is a yogic philosophy, the Vedic philosophy. We are just using the form of a guru to control ourselves, and teachings of the guru to uplift ourselves. Okay, so I'll stop talking, but I just wanted to give you a general idea about Agam and Nigam and the 4 kinds of writings in our scriptures. And you will find, if you start studying these scriptures, Agam scriptures also, there are Stotra there too. There are Sutra there too. There are Mantra there too. Okay, so all those forms of writings in the Agam as well as Nigam. And everything is written in Sanskrit, by the way. Everything. And in poetry. Okay, so let me stop it here and then we can open for questions, answers. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Visheshyate. Om Shanti 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 Om. Thank you very much for coming.
I have a
Thank you,
question.
Hershji. Thank you, Hershji, for just clearing my thing, because now whenever I'll see them, I will know what they are talking about.
And
Thank
if you
you.
have, if you have
Thank
any
you.
other question when you see something, just feel free to ask me. I
will.
may or may not have the answer, but I'll
No,
try my best.
No. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, all right, Manju. Yeah, this was Manju's question the other day. What are the Agam and the Nigams? So you also, whenever you have a question, and then sometimes we wonder, is it only a male deity? No, the
Yeah.
female deity. Teaching Lord Shiva. And those are beautiful books, actually. If you ever gotten a chance to study those, do pick it up. How Lord Shiva becomes a disciple, just like Lord Ram becomes a disciple in that Yoga Vashishta,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But
Yes. Yes.
he becomes a disciple to his own consort.
But Hershji, where Lord Shiva became, in which text is that mentioned?
I'll find out the text, but it is one of the Shakt Agams.
Oh,
Shakt Agams are quite a few, 77 of them.
so in one of them.
All of them are, they're all, I would say all Shakti Agams are where, but I'll find some a prominent one for you guys. And maybe we can study one of those if you would like.
Yeah, where Shakti has told, telling Lord Shiva, I think that will be interesting.
Yeah, I think it will really, it will be interesting for us, right?
From women's point of view or from female point
Why
of view.
not? No, I'll find a simple book out of all those 77 and see which where we can relate in an easy manner. I'll do
Great.
that. Yes.
You are just taking out all the peels, all the layers out of us. Thank you very much.
Okay, Manju. Yes, Puna.
So the question is then, when Shakti is teaching Shiva, it would become tantric right there?
उसको तांत्रिक कह देते हैं,
उसको तांत्रिक कह देंगे,
नाम दिया तांत्रिक, उसको नाम दे दिया तांत्रिक. Yes.
हाँ, जो भी नाम तो एक तांत्रिक है ही है. There is a word out there which is tantric, and it might have many connotations, but एक word तो एक तांत्रिक है. So when Shakti will teach Shiva, it will become tantric, right?
Yes.
Then because that's what you said. Then another question I had, that all the temples now, whatever they're doing, all the temples that we visit, they would all come under the Agam. They won't come under the Nigam then?
Yes, they will come. Normally, the temples, the way they are built, what they follow, that's why some of the temples, they don't even let non-Hindus enter.
Yeah.
They have very strict rules. Those are Agams. And Nigams are mostly the ashrams. In the old time, also in India, the Nigams. That's why it's like a Sudama and Lord Krishna, a prince and a very common poor man, man's boy, could study under the same roof or lived under the same place. So in the Nigam, everybody is same. No higher and lower.
But coming from the scriptures, because all the knowledge is coming from the same scriptures, they're following, then to keep those differences kind of it is going opposite way.
Yeah, I know. It all depends what you want to get out of it. How we want to perceive it,
Yeah.
right?
Because there are
The
temples
same,
that won't let women come in. Then there were
yes,
temples, untouchables were not allowed. So there are all kind of stuff happening, but they are
yes,
also teaching scriptures and they're reading scriptures. That makes no
exactly.
sense.
So that means our material mind. That's why Nigams, they say control your material mind, keep on purifying it. But average person can't. Most of the people don't. They get involved into this lower level. See, just think about it. Dronacharya, the great Acharya, he taught Duryodhana also, and he taught Yudhishthira also.
Yeah.
Yudhishthira, when he was sent out to see who is bad and who is good, he could not find anybody bad. He said, I am the worst. And Duryodhana sent out by the same teacher, and he said, I do not find anybody good. I am the best. Same teacher,
Yeah.
same lineage. So it's not a, I mean, even these days we see from the same family, because we have traveled a lot. So this is all, the reason I'm telling you that there's all out there. It's up to us. With the help of all this, do we want to go towards the supreme, or do we want to just stay muddy here? Choice is ours. So I didn't want to confuse you guys. It was just to let you know that there's a lot more. If the temples do this, there's a reason for them. They just say, yeah, this is our scripture say that. This direction, this time, this muhurat. But the Nigam says, God says, I'm everywhere. In the direction, between the direction, up and down, everywhere, all the time. Okay. So Subhadra, you have a question, comment?
Yes, I do have. Nigam, as you were explaining to us, was final truth conclusion after receiving all the aspects.
Yes. Yeah.
And if Nigam versus Agam versus Tantric.
Tantric is another name for Agam.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Why
Tantric
is
is normally Shakta's books are called Tantric books.
will Shaktas be close to Shaivites?
No, Shaktas are where deity is Shakti.
Oh, okay.
Shaivas is deity is Lord Shiva. Vaishnavas is Lord Vishnu.
But deities versus Shiva is different.
Shiva, you remember we talked about Shiva avatar? It
Yes.
could be any one of those 19 Shiva avatars.
The Linga avatarams different of those
Any
things.
kind, any one of those. You remember a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
We did that
Yes.
different avatars of Lord Shiva. So in
Right.
the Shaivism, they can have as a deity any one of them.
But all of those aspects should still, whichever path you take, you've been given the option of choosing and then achieving your attainment.
Yes. Yes.
Then why is tantric always? I mean, from my experience, I've seen when you say tantric, everybody goes, "Ooh, it is voodoo. It is not good."
Because we don't understand it properly. It is our own understanding.
Because
okay.
then, because they say devils and
no. They are not worshipping the devil. But when you look at Kali in that form with the skull, garland of skull, so people say that this is a devil. No,
more tantric.
They don't understand. When we don't understand the reason behind it, like some people say, Lord Shiva is the destroyer, but destroyer of what? Ignorance.
Ignorance, yes, yes.
Destroyer of ignorance, and we need to destroy our ignorance. That's why Guru Roop is always a Shiv Roop.
Okay.
Okay. So, it's like a flaw is in our own understanding. Flaw is not all these great rishis, according to the time, according to the level of the students, they came up with all this. Okay.
So so it's between the student and the teacher one-on-one that they determine what they should path and what follow they should do.
Yes.
According to the teacher.
That's why it's very important to stick to
One teacher,
one guru.
one guru.
And a guru, Lord Krishna mentions the qualifications of a guru, and then the qualifications of a student, then the journey starts. Before that, we are only looking around.
But as he also mentioned one time that the guru seeks the disciple. The disciple does not go about. When the disciple is ready,
But the disciple has to have
be
the
ready.
eagerness to be under the guidance of a guru.
But that comes, that maturity comes, that's when the teacher knows and seeks. Because I used to think the student goes and seeks the guru, but you had told me that a guru is the one who ultimately picks the...
Yeah, ultimately guru picks the student, but the student, if student is not ready, student doesn't have that basic qualifications, that guru says, just you need a little bit more kicks in your...
But that's what, yeah.
said.
So you're the one who will, the teacher is the one who will determine that and will assess that and be able to put that person in place or accept or not accept accordingly. Am I correct?
Yes, that's right.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Samita ji, yes.
I'm a little bit to know this all knowledge. Is it that? Because my aim is to clean my mind. Do
Yeah.
they always do they all help us? You know,
Yeah. This
because
will help you because if it's no use to you, disregard it.
okay.
But if it helps you to understand it, because knowledge does give a light. Knowledge means light.
Yes.
So just like there's a group of students over here, like Manju herself, she said that she heard these Agam and Nigam words, they come in the Artis also, they come in the Bhajans also. So we should know the vocabulary. So that's why. But if somebody doesn't need it, hey, disregard it. Okay, that freedom we have, definitely.
Another question, please. That I'm going back to the mantras of Shok, mantras, if you don't mind, if you don't mind. When we chant Gayatri mantra or any other mantra, sometimes it becomes mechanical. Without, you don't pay attention, it just happens. I'm just cooking and I'm doing Gayatri mantra and all this. So my attention is not at that time on that mantra. So whenever I really chant mantra, do I have to sit and chant and pay attention to that? Or is this side by side mantra?
To me, I think it should be both ways, because we cannot just sit 24/7 and recite the mantras.
Yes.
So, but even when we are doing something else and we are reciting the mantra here and there, pay attention to it.
Okay.
Okay, what mind is saying, because it's going internally.
Yes.
Whether it's going Om Namo Shivaya or Om Naranaya, whatever you are saying, it should be just bring your mind towards it here and there. Okay.
The third question is about Shiva. Shiva means the Shiva as a deity, or Shiva means, something else, because Namo Shivaya, Om Namo.
Okay, over here, when we say that Agam as a Shivai, that means deity, Lord Shiva.
Okay.
As a deity.
Okay.
Shakti as a deity.
Okay.
Okay. Vishnu as a deity.
Yes.
But Shiv word comes in the mantras as a auspiciousness also.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So when we say Om Namo Shivaya,
yes.
For somebody it could be, yes, I am prostrating to Lord Shiva. Okay. But it could mean also that I want to become one with I want that kind of auspiciousness where I'm one with that higher being. Okay.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Poonam.
Sorry, nothing.
Oh, nothing? Okay.
No,
All
I
right.
think I
I
just
think
did
Padma had a question too. Padma, didn't you? Unmute yourself. Unmute.
I said it's such great information. I derived a lot from everybody's questions and answers.
Good, good. Yes. This is just a Wednesday class is it's almost like a general knowledge class.
It's beautiful. Just
That's
beautiful.
all I'm giving it to you guys so that you don't get confused because we are the students of spirituality and we
Yeah.
have all these books and we should know what we are studying.
Right. Yeah. My basic question was actually on evolution. Do Agams believe that they evolved through rituals and the Nigams believe that they evolved through faith and surrender?
No, Agams also, just like I said, there is a part of, there are 4 parts to Agams also. One
Yeah.
is the discipline.
Yeah.
They have the meditations and the discipline too.
Yeah.
But they just believe more in the rituals and the festivals and the temples and the deities. Okay. So to me, I think whichever tradition you're following or you were brought up, it just comes very natural to you. Natural.
Yeah,
So
but I
stick with
believe
it.
Nigams have, I can't say which one is better or not, but Nigams have more time to evolve because they don't waste time in rituals.
Yeah, sometimes that could be, but sometimes rituals are the one which keeps the societies together,
Yeah,
families together.
it's,
Otherwise, we think that we are following the higher truth, but we can become very arrogant also,
yeah, right.
right? I remember one time, long time ago, I used to go to this Arya Samaj temple over here in West Chicago to teach
Yeah.
yoga classes. Long time ago, when yoga was not being taught in every corner in this country.
Right.
I still remember there was a lady over there. She sang the bhajan. In my understanding, it was full of arrogance.
Okay.
Like, मैं आर्य समाजी हूँ. That kind of a
वो तो गलत है.
connotation.
हाँ.
So if arrogance comes that I believe in Nirakar,
Yeah.
and you still believe in Akar, to me, I think you have slipped down.
Yeah, because it is through Akar we reach the Nirakar.
We are in Akar.
Yes. It's through Akar we come
We can
to.
fall in love with the Akar because we have Akar.
Yes. Yes.
So, I mean, I was not, I just used to go there just as a, because they called me to teach yoga. Otherwise, I wanted to have a little conversation with that lady. That you have the Akars over here too. Om is an Akar.
Yeah.
You have a big picture of Swami Dayanandji.
Yeah.
Akar is there too. Akar is the building also.
Yeah.
When we worship and there is a fire, that's a Akar too.
Yeah, but originally we are the Nirakar.
We are Nirakar,
Yeah.
but we cannot just, if we become arrogant about it,
Yeah. Right. Right.
then we have slipped down. That's the point I'm trying to make. So
Right.
if a follower of the Nigam says, I'm better than the Agams, that's wrong.
No. No. Yeah.
But if somebody says, no, this is a Shakti and this is a Tantra, and we just put them down, that's wrong too.
Right. Absolutely.
We should not judge. God did not give us that position to judge others. Right? We got to just focus on ourselves and see how pure we are becoming. What are we doing? Okay. So let's just have the bhajan first, then we can continue talking more.
Thank you so much, Hersh. This is a beautiful class.
Hershey,
Just lovely.
Hershey,